Welcome to the channel. So today is a video that I've been meaning to for quite some time. It's all about my journey into gravel biking. I have to admit that I'm new to this and I'm newbie with all sorts of, anything to do with bikes really. I did use a bike when I was working in London, getting from clients from A to B to C, but I never really learnt how things worked. I didn't really know the difference between PSI to really what disc brakes were or anything. So all very new to me. And this video will be kind of, I suppose, 3 or maybe 4 schoolboy errors that I made, newbie mistakes that I think should help most people. But before I go into anything, let me just give you a quick rundown of the bike and we'll take it from there. Right, it is the Cannondale Topstone 1. I've changed pretty much nothing on this apart from the tires. I'm not too specky, so I'm not going to go into details about the gears, what they are, but it's just the standard, whatever they came with the Cannondale Topstone 1, this is it. But what I did do, 2 days ago, was struggled to change these tires. Hey Siri, how to get stubborn tire off wheel?
Okay, I found this on the web for how to get stubborn tire off wheel. Check it out.
Right. Just because I didn't like the black wall, I wanted the tan wall, so I went for the Panaracer Gravel King SK, I think they are, 700 by 43 mil. So they're about 3 or 4 mil wider, which means they're softer, more comfortable, but a bit of traction. But that's it. Disc brakes, obviously, on this bike here, and I guess disc brakes are sort of easier, more comfortable geometry to the bike, and fatter tires in essence is really the difference between a road bike and a gravel bike. I know that's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but that's just in my head. That's how I sort of understand it. I guess there's a lot more detail, but as it is, that's how I look at the bike. But here we go. So the Cannondale Topstone 1. So in regards to mistakes that I made, I think the biggest one would have to be the pressure. I kind of assumed that the higher the PSI, the quicker you go on the bike, the faster you feel, and yeah, but I was completely wrong. I realized actually you don't want to be pumping these ones up to 50, 60, 70 PSI. Maybe it's fine for road, but I realized it was just too hard, too firm, especially on the trails. You felt and hit every root and rock underground. So by dropping the PS down, couple of squats here, down to about sort of 25 to 30, and that completely changed the feel and the whole, the enjoyment of gravel biking. And I could then really realized, yeah, why it's so good and comfortable. But that was mistake number 1, too much pressure in the tires. So the second point, I think it probably has to do with the pressure, but yeah, just too much tension then caused an issue with the spokes. Now I had no idea really what spokes did until I did a lot of research, and I also had some great advice from Sage, from Trail Sage. Great site, channel, check him out, brilliant stuff. But he simply advised that it's probably the spokes that are loose. So I bought myself one of these, a little spoke Allen key thing, whatever it is, just to tighten the spokes. Now I've not done it perfectly, but I've done it well enough to basically stop that wobble that was in the front wheel and the back wheel. The back wheel's not perfect, but it's called tuning. So I tuned, is it tuning? What is it called? Not tuning, truing, sorry, it's called truing. Truing the wheel, and that's when there's a slight wobble, and you can quite simply do that yourself. The spokes on the outside, now I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. So the spokes on the outside that come in here pull the wheel this way, and the spokes connect to the other side, pull the wheel the other way. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think it did. So by turning these little things here, the spokes, it's trued the wheel. This would help if this was actually on. And I think the third thing that I learned was definitely not to get any muck or grease or oil on those disc brakes. It created a big squeak, a horrible sound, and I realized that actually by buying some proper disc brake cleaner, which is only about sort of £6–7 from Amazon or whatever it is, Halfords, it really cleaned the brake pads properly and well enough, good enough to stop that horrible screeching sound. And it worked actually. I've spent a long time doing it, and now I'm very, very careful about not to, I think the word is to contaminate the brake pads. So yeah, watch what you do with all that oil or grease, whatever, when you're cleaning the bike. and make sure you don't contaminate brake pads and inside there, because I didn't have a clue about any of this stuff until I heard this horrible screech sound and I realized I need to clean the brakes properly. Luckily, I did. Sometimes they've gone too much, there's too much contamination in the brake pads in there, the discs pads, that the screech won't go. So yeah, that's another lesson that I learned along the way. Finally, one of the best things that I did was to buy a pair of sort of mountain bike shoes with these cleats on as well, clipless pedals. These just felt absolutely awesome. So you can actually walk properly in these shoes here. Again, Sage from Trail Sage has done many reviews on all this stuff, and this is all very sort of simple stuff that most people probably know, but I didn't even know that these sort of shoes existed. I was using other cleats for my road shoes, so yeah, these are very comfortable and actually they work really well. So what are these? These are the Specialized Recon 1, and they feel very comfortable, and I've got quite wide feet, but I'm going to go through proper reviews on this stuff later. I just wanted to run through the basics, where I went wrong, and good things that I learned along the way quite quickly. Okay, so the last thing I guess I really want to speak about today is kind of why I got the bike. The idea of being able to cycle fast on tracks that you can run, and then also get from A to B to C quite quickly. So it's different from a road bike where you can't cycle on those trails, and it's different from a mountain bike where the mountain bike is quite tough and not so fast on the road. It kind of does it all. And dropping the pressure down, as I said, it made the trails so much more comfortable. And yeah, to be able to cycle on trails that I'm running is just great. And that means I can explore and find new trails very simply without getting lost whilst running, and just enjoy a very peaceful, beautiful way to cycle around. So I found out Komoot, K-O-M-O-O-T. Again, this app is not old. Millions of people have Komoot for running, but I found it's a great app for cycling. And when you pay the extra money, the £60 I think for the year, you then get access to all the special little trails that you can find for the bikes, which you can't seem to see on normal maps. So I'm going to test the Komoot. I'm going to test the Komoot course that I did yesterday. Which is, I'm going to test it out. I'll show you that in a second and take it from there. Right, okay, so here is my Komoot thing that I set up. Basically, I think looking around it says about 4 hours, and it's going to give me turn-by-turn directions, all on trails. Well, 90% hopefully on trails, but again, I'll have to see how it goes. So there we have it. Right, that just leaves me now to quickly change into some gear and get out on the bike. I'm just going to take a couple of gels with me, some water, and a few other bits and bobs, keeping it simple. Right, that's it. Okay, so it took a little bit of time to get onto some nice trails here, but I've been following the Komoot nicely, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job at taking me down some places I would never know to go. The cool thing is, by going on the bike, I can do a recce of lots of new trails to run on without getting too lost on the runs. But this is cool. I mean, I'm not going too fast, but I haven't passed anyone. No people, no cars, just a pretty gravelly track and a nice day. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now we're taking me through a field. Nice field, but a little bit bumpy. That's the wonders of a gravel bike. Oh, I'm off the trail. Oops. Okay, quick pit stop. One oat milk flat white and one little tiffin. Little treat, chocolate tiffin. So I am at Ramble Common now. Ramble Common. Some of you might know this one. And all good. About an hour and a half into the ride. bike is good. I might still next time take a little bit more pressure out of the front wheels, which I can do now, but I'm not going to mess around because hopefully there's a little bit more just drier track because it's really, really rocky coming up Box Hill and down the other side. But all good. Tyres working really well, brakes nicely, so very, very pleased with how it's all going. Komoot seems to be doing a pretty good job. It's taken me off some weird places and back up and a few round, but all good so far. Right, I'm gonna crack on with this and then crack on with the ride. Ooh. Wow, this is pretty nice. I'm in too high gear, hang on. Oh. 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 That's better. Look at this. It's a nice old road. We'll do some woods. There are some dogs up there. I've got no idea where I am. It's pretty cool. I'm on a place called Old London Road. That's an old entrance of some sort of estate. And this must have been an old road that they used to get to London. It's quiet. I hope the audio is picked up on this, because sometimes it goes a bit funny. Well, look at those lovely roads, or tracks, whatever they're called. And no one's around. In fact, there's an old sign there. 30 miles per hour. Well, I'm certainly not doing that. Okay, ride done. 47.3 kilometers, 2 hours, 22 minutes. Average speed of 20 kilometers per hour. About 651 meters. And predominantly on trails and gravel. Bit of road at the end, but that was a very nice ride. As I said, I'm going to do a review on everything that I've got. These are all the shoes, because this is a new sport to me. Well, it's not really. Well, yeah, it is actually. It's a new sport to me. So I have learned lots of things, but I definitely need to. That wheel. I definitely need to sort the spokes out, because there's a little bit of a wobble on the wheel slightly at the back. Nothing major, but really impressed with the tyres, really, really pleased. I'm going to take a little bit of pressure out of them next time, but they work well on that last bit of road. But all in all, a really good ride, and the Komoot thing worked really well. It was nice just to be told which way to go and follow the route, so all good. All right, now where's the rest of that tiffin?